If he gets hit with my Titleist, that's his problem. 4!
What the hell are you trying to do? Frankie, you okay? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? What's wrong with you?
Help!
Your heart?
Help!
What can I do? Pills? Where are your pills? Well, I guess you're out of luck, aren't you? Yeah. And now you're gonna die wearing that stupid little hat. How does it feel?
We are the only team that caught this. I don't want to brag too much, but I love this audience so much. I love the brigade so much. Spent my entire life fighting for the brigade. I'm a brigader, baby. We caught it. We found it. There was a little clip that Tucker Carlson, in an interview, Tucker Carlson, just a little bit of a sprinkling here. Little clip in an interview where Tucker Carlson said that Fox News cut an interview that he had with the chief of police, Steven Sund. Fox News cut it, where the chief of police said that there was a cover-up for January 6th. And Fox wouldn't let him air it. Check it out.
And that was a tip-off to me. I mean, I had no thought in my head as I watched this happen on television and in the subsequent weeks that U.S. law enforcement or military agencies had anything to do with it. That never crossed my mind. I never thought that it was a false flag or anything like that. I'm not a conspiracist by temperament. I never thought that. And then I interviewed the chief of the Capitol Police, Steven Sund, in an interview that was never aired on Fox, by the way. I was fired before it could air. I'm going to interview him again. But Steven Sund was the totally non-political, worked for Nancy Pelosi. I mean, this was not some right-wing activist. He was the chief of the Capitol Police on January 6th. And he said, oh, yeah. That crowd was filled with federal agents. What? Yes. Well, he would know, of course, because he was in charge of security at the site. So the more time has passed, now it's been.
So Tucker Carlson there, just a little throwaway line. It was never aired by Fox. Well, we went bananas on that because, of course, all of our spider senses are going to go up, and said, "Wait a second, Fox is not airing the chief of police, the guy who's been on, saying that Nancy Pelosi wouldn't pick up his calls, wouldn't send in backup, that these people wanted January 6th to happen? Ooh, baby, that's juicy." And now we have that footage, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on this show, maybe for the first time broadcast anywhere. The chief of police, Steven Sund, saying that there is a cover-up happening to January 6th and the events of January 6th, and that the audience there, the rioters, were filled with feds. Whew, baby. Does this put everything in stark relief as to what they're about to do with Trump? Check it out.
I got a significant experience. If I was allowed to do my job as the chief, we wouldn't be here today. This didn't happen. Then see how you're out there, you're lambasted in public, and it's all, everything appears to be a cover-up. Like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but when you look at the information the intelligence that it had, military had, it's all watered down. I'm not getting intelligence. I'm denied support National Guard in advance. I'm denied National Guard while we're under attack for 71 minutes. You're in a fight?
Yeah.
A fight for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, 1 minute.
You out.
1 minute.
I was going to say 60 seconds, 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Let me tell you, it wears you out. My officers were fighting for 80 minutes before the protesters ever broke personally with that.
Wait, can I say, so you described this as a failure to get the intelligence to the people who needed it, but it sounds like worse than, it sounds like they were hiding the intelligence.
And that's what I'm getting at is, could there possibly be that actually did something to happen and kind of wanted something to happen? It's not a far stretch to begin.
Well, I don't know what the other explanation is.
They cut that. Why? Why would they cut that? Why would they cut out the man who was in charge of all Capitol Police, a guy who's presumably a Democrat or somebody who's certainly not a right-wing, red hat wearing, MAGA, holding the American flag kind of guy, right? Seems like a very straight-laced, typical D.C. security bureaucrat. Steven Sund. Why wouldn't Fox let that air? And more importantly, why would they release this footage from inside of Pelosi's office with her straight up admitting, dementia's a hell of a drug, man, straight up admitting, too much plastic surgery, your brain goes plastic, right? And Joe Biden's proven that. Pelosi straight up admitting that this was the plan all along. Don't miss it. Watch.
Secret Service said They have dissuaded him from coming to Capitol Hill. They told him they don't have the resources to protect him here. So at the moment, he is not coming, but that could change.
Oh, he comes, I'm gonna punch him out. This is
Oh,
my
no, I
moment.
would pay to see
I've
that.
been waiting for this, for trespassing on the Capitol grounds. I'm gonna punch him out, and I'm gonna go to jail, and I'm gonna be happy.
Oh, I mean, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Did you hear it? Are your ears ringing like mine? I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. Trespassing on the Capitol grounds. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Why have you been waiting for trespassing on the Capitol grounds? That don't make no sense. You've been waiting for trespassing, which is, by the way, what they've charged probably 98.7% of all J6ers with. Trespassing. It's like they had this all planned. Because all these guys, none of these guys were really violent. Some of the guys engaged in hooliganism, maybe they were Antifa, maybe they weren't. Who knows? But we know from the camera footage that there were a ton of federal agents there. Then those federal agents were encouraging people to go in the building. We have that footage. We have the footage. We want to get to Kash Patel. We want to get to Kash Patel, and we'll get to Kash Patel in 60 seconds. But look, let me ask you this. Whoa. Nancy Pelosi's been waiting for this? Why? So that they could lock up Trump supporters. Trespassing on the Capitol grounds. They had the charges all figured out. They just get people to walk in the building. That's all they did. They swing open the doors. They get people to walk in the building. And there's your charges. And then they can say thousands and thousands of Trump supporters have been charged with trespassing. An important mind exercise in how Democrats think and how we think. Because you think morally, you have your life structured morally. They don't. They use every single moment as an opportunity to grab, to seize, to claw away demonically power for themselves. Now, what if we thought the same way as a lib? What if we thought the same way as Nancy Pelosi in that clip I just played you? Just a final thing, and Kash Patel is going to be horrified when he hears this. But just a final thing. At the White House, when the libs were storming the White House, burning the gates, burning the buildings, injuring hundreds of Secret Service officers in the real insurrection that happened on May 20th of 2020. We know the exact date, the exact time, and it's been disappeared. They burned down St. John's Church, burned it to the ground. Not to the ground, but they set it on fire. Okay? Thank God it was saved. What if they had just lowered the gates? What if Trump had just said, what if Trump thought like Pelosi and just put the gates down and let those libs run through the White House, burn the Reagan portrait and the JFK portrait, graffiti all the columns. Keep the cameras rolling, boys. Let me show you what these people are capable of. Donald Trump would have won 49 states. Hawaii would have still voted, but they're so high in Hawaii, they probably think Barack Obama, they're still voting for Barack Obama. Like, Hawaii would have probably voted. They would have won 49 states. Donald Trump would have won the District of Columbia. If he had done that, if he had thought the way that libs think and just lowered the gates and let the monsters in and shown the American people what they're capable of, oh, baby, I've been to these protests. I know exactly what they would have done to the White House. I was there that night covering it until it got really unsafe, I was followed back to my car, chased out of there. So let me make that very clear to you. This is a setup. Fox News is inexplicably covering for these people, and we want to know why.